Jury, I see you, what up?
Voila, I'm feeling my vibe. I'm getting in tune with my emotions. I write them all down. No, I ain't stuck now. I'm going up now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Second Conscious Cast. I'm your host, Cal, along with my boy, Cole. And today we're going to be talking about fear, alright? And then Cole brought this to my attention probably like 20, 30 minutes ago. About that. And so, the first episode, we got some good feedback, my boy plugged it, and we got some good feedback. As always, we're just here to discuss, have a good conversation. If you disagree with anything we say, that is okay. Question what we're saying. Find it out for yourself, we're just speaking from our own experience and own knowledge, So, start it off, Cole.
Just here to talk about some profound shit.
Yeah, of course.
I wanted to talk about fear today because I feel like that is what holds a lot of people back from being, achieving excellence.
Uh-huh.
Especially because, personally, there was a question that one of my high school teachers, it was my junior year English class teacher, Mr. Brown. He'd always put up these profound topics to start the class off, to get your brain thinking. And he was just like, what is, the enemy of mankind or something like that? What is the worst thing? And I told him, I wrote about in that journal, it was fear. Because fear is what keeps, like I said before, it's what keeps people from pursuing their dreams.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will get stopped at something because they're scared of what other people will think of them, or what happens if they fail, or they fear embarrassment, or stuff like that. All of this stems from fear. And that fear is what keeps people from achieving. It keeps them from awakening spiritually.
Yeah, there you go.
That's where my awakening came from.
Yeah.
It was coming out of fear and facing my fears and realizing that the only way these things can hurt me is in my head.
Dude, facts, man. It's like, I don't know if I'm sure you've heard this story once or twice, but it's kind of similar to what you're saying, but as people grow up, they become more fearful, right? You ever see, I forget, I don't know if it was an experiment or a research project, but you look at the kindergartner, right? The kindergartner building, the block pyramid, right? And within class, right? And as they're building the block pyramid, every single time they fail, they get back up and they retry, right? They keep retrying and retrying. But you kind of apply that kind of situation to someone that's maybe our age, starting to develop, even teenage to adolescent to, adult years. It seems as though due to fear, right, and embarrassment in front of others, that kind of, I guess you could say, situation or circumstance kind of puts people, they don't want to fail in front of people, right?
Yeah.
Each time they fail, they get embarrassed, right? And they have that fear of embarrassment. They have that fear of making a mistake, even though that mistake teaches them so much,
yes.
Right? Because, knowledge only goes so far, but when you have knowledge and then experience, and then you apply that together, that's when you get wisdom, right? You can look at anything, with any topic, any field, but other people's comments, other people's views, and really just, I guess you could say, society's collective beliefs, which, at least in America, is very based on fear.
Yes.
Right? Very based on fear. You can look at this from the media, and kind of, it stops people in their tracks, and it limits them.
Yes.
Right? Because they start believing that they're less than others. They start believing that they're not worth it. And we can touch on this a bit later, because I can already feel what I want to say, but, just to kind of keep it on the topic of fear, and how that limits you, how within your own life has that impacted you in a negative way, and then how have you used that to kind of propel you into things, such as becoming a better individual within a certain field, or just overall self-growth.
Yeah. So for me personally, it was I was had terrible nightmares as a kid for a long while. Night terrors around my family. Really just, I didn't want to go to sleep because the nightmares were that bad. And I was tormented by the demons of my own mind.
Yeah.
That I was creating as a child.
Yeah.
And it kind of impacted my association with people. I would kind of be afraid to talk to people sometimes when I was younger. When if I didn't know how to if I didn't know we had a mutual interest that we could talk about and become friends.
Start to have a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't make myself do that, but like, it's weird because one day I had a realization, like, it was weird. It's like it happened in a dream.
Epiphany.
Yeah, but it was like, wait a minute. If I become stronger than the monsters that torment me, I can do anything. So it's like in my dreams, I learned how to face my fears, and from there, everything else became meaningless. Like, I don't care about being embarrassed because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Like people take themselves too seriously.
Dude.
You just gotta have fun with it.
Unapologetically yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And it's like that has helped me interact with people. Like this happened the other day at the beach. Not when we went, but before. Like, went to go talk to these girls, and I made an absolute ass of myself, and I failed.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because, like, number one, I'm probably never going to see them again, and number two, it's a funny story. So it's like,
true.
You just gotta approach like situations without worrying about how people perceive you, because that hinders your ability to complete the mission.
I think what you just pointed out there was perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we could take any neutral situation, right? So you were talking to those girls, right, at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And you made, like you said, you pointed out the negative, right?
Yeah.
I made a complete ass of myself. But you also took the positive out of that. Okay, like, what did that teach me?
Yeah.
It teaches me, like, okay, maybe I gotta up my skill a bit, you know, maybe
Right.
but I'm never gonna see them again, you know, you look at you take the positive out of every situation.
Yeah.
Right? And although this can be kind of not the best thing to do at times, it also can keep you in a state that keeps you going, you know what I mean? And it keeps you in that mindset of like, okay, I failed, right? And I've failed talking to girls plenty of times, right? And
Everyone has.
you can apply this to so many areas. You can apply this to this YouTube channel.